What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. So today we are going to be talking about an Instagram page that was sent to me by one of you guys. So the Instagram page we're going to be talking about is Hannah_niece. And if you look at her profile, in it, it says, big on making sure you love yourself. So if you go through a lot of her pictures, a lot of them are like the Instagram versus reality type pictures, a lot of like self-love type content. And in a lot of the pictures, like I said, it's the Instagram versus reality. So, you know, there'll be a posed Instagram picture, and then next to it, it'll be the reality picture where you might be showing some rolls or some cellulite or something like that. Now, you might be asking me, why is that such a big deal? I don't understand why you're even talking about this. Well, if you are familiar, a few weeks ago, I actually made a video where someone called me out and basically said that I'm not allowed to be body positive because body positivity is reserved for fat people of color. Now, it looks like Hannah herself is getting some of this backlash from the photos that she is posting. So the main picture I want to talk about is this one right here. And as you can see, it is her, you know, in her underwear, in her room. And then in the photo, we have some comments that say, "This is not revolutionary. You're a straight-sized person co-opting the fat experience, which is quite literally oppressive. Your body shame does not equate to what actual fat people go through. No one cares about your skinny rolls. If you care about body justice, then do more." And then someone commented a puking emoji. And then there's another comment that says, "I have this amazing place me and you can both go, but it would mostly benefit you. It's called a gym." And then another comment that says, "We don't care." Now I'm going to read the caption that she wrote for this post. So it goes on to say, "I know my feelings will pass, but right now they sting and I am human. I understand that by putting myself out in the world, I subject myself to comments, words, and actions of others." Now, just speaking on that, I can fully understand what that's like because I post a lot of pictures of myself that, you know, if someone just stumbles across my page and they see photos of me with my shirt off and with loose skin, I can understand why people will be confused. So I honestly, like, when I get questions of people being like, "Why do you have skin like that?" A lot of times it's usually like younger people that will leave those comments, but I do understand to some extent why people will leave certain comments. So I totally know what it's like to, you know, like when you put yourself up there, you have to kind of expect that there's going to be some sort of, you know, criticism regardless. I understand that posts meant to spark conversation will spark conversation. I am not naive. Yes, I agree with that. I know that actions cause reaction. While I value interacting, listening, and learning from one another, I will never accept blatant hate. Access to conversation does not give someone a free pass to hate, shame, and belittle another person. My life struggles and passions are worthy of speaking on, as are yours. I am allowed to speak and encourage others whether or not I am to this or to that, to a listener." And then she goes on to say, "I will leave it at this. If what I say doesn't connect with you, it doesn't connect with you. If what I post doesn't encourage you, it doesn't encourage you. That's okay. This is no way to live. You are all astonishingly different, and that is what makes life beautiful. There is room for us all, so me and my mid-sized body will continue showing up. My struggles are just as valid as the next. I respect anyone who comes and anyone who goes, but through it all, choose kindness." And so what it looks like was happening to her, and I'm assuming she was probably getting a lot of comments on a lot of the posts that she was making, is she was dealing with some of the fat acceptance and the body positive community that has kind of started this new narrative that, I mean, I guess it's not new, but they are starting to really become very vocal about the fact that, you know, if you're not a fat person of color, you shouldn't say that you are body positive. I think one of the things that bothers me the most, you know, for the people that are in the body positive movement, a lot of people that are in like the, you know, health at every size movement, all this stuff, is a lot of them are in these movements because maybe they felt like they have been treated poorly, or they felt like they have been, you know, marginalized in some way and or made feel less than, right? But it's just so interesting to me that these people are now going on to other people's posts, you know, this girl right here, and basically saying, well, now you're not fat enough to be body positive, or you're not this enough, you need to be more this to be part of this movement. When in reality, especially with like body positivity, you would think it would be very inclusive and let everyone join. And I feel like that's going to be a lot more powerful than gatekeeping to a point where it's a very specific movement for a very small amount of people. Like if you want to be fat positive, there is a movement for fat positivity, right? It's called fat positivity. But to try and take hold of the movement body positivity and then gatekeep and try and push all these people out, I just don't feel like it is doing any good for the movement, and it's just making the movement look like another elitist thing that people want to be a part of. And one of the arguments that a lot of the people in the, fat positivity movement kind of use when they see posts like this is they say basically, my issues, their fat that they have, they can't just put it away, right? So because this girl is relatively thin, she can wear high-waisted pants and put on a crop top and you wouldn't even notice, right? That's kind of their argument. But because someone that's 300 pounds, no matter what they wear, it's going to be very obvious that their body is not desirable, right? And again, I can understand where someone is coming from with that point of view, but the fact of the matter is, especially if we're talking about body size and shape and fat and the amount of fat that you have on your body, if you genuinely feel a significant amount of shame for the amount of fat that you have on your body, I would argue that that is something that you can change. Now, is it going to take a very long time? Yes, absolutely. Can you not? Obviously, you can't just tuck it in and then no one will know that you're fat. But to sit here and make someone feel bad because maybe they can do that, I think, again, is going against the whole principle of body positivity. It's just kind of strange to me because, if I were to relate it to what I deal with, right? I have loose skin. There is no way that I can get rid of that unless I got some major surgery, right? But it would be like me going on some dude's post that say he has a six-pack and he's shredded and he's jacked and like he looks great, but he's posting a picture of him being vulnerable, saying he's struggling with like bloating or something, right? Just some sort of body issue that he has himself personally. And if I were to go on his post and just get super upset and be like, you're not allowed to say any of this stuff, like I can't imagine how upset you are. You have a six-pack and you have all these things and I have loose skin and like I'm really struggling here. And it's like, yeah, well, I definitely am struggling, right? Like, yes, I have loose skin. That's a true valid point. But to just say that because I am struggling more, you shouldn't be allowed to talk about your struggle that you have, I just don't see how that, I literally don't see how that helps anyone at all. Another argument that you'll hear a lot is the people in the fat liberation or the body positivity space that are larger. They will say that these women, these cisgendered skinny white women is usually how they'll describe them, is that they are kind of taking over their movement, and they are, because they have more followers and because they have more, just basically more followers and more reach, that they are kind of overtaking the movement. And I mean I can kind of understand where they're coming from with that, but for me it's like, well, I think that it's always a good thing to have bigger voices that are co-opting your movement, right? And I think the reason that there are like these women might have more followers is because they just appeal to a larger audience, right? Because there's like, the fact of the matter is there's a lot more women that aren't like morbidly obese versus women that are. And so I think that there's just a lot more women that kind of relate to that kind of content. And so that's why they are following that person, right? Like, it's not like anyone is forcing them to follow her or not follow her. It's just these women obviously see the post and they're like, oh, I relate to that. Like, it's really cool. I'm also kind of a little bit chubby, but I feel kind of fat some days. I feel kind of skinny other days. And obviously that is what this girl talks a lot about. And so I think that that's why they have, the amount of followers that they'll have. But again, those are just my thoughts. That's what I feel about the whole situation. I do want to say, if you guys are enjoying these videos, I have actually been trying to start live streaming here on the channel. So if you guys want to click the bell, get the notifications for when I do the live streams, because there's actually been a good amount of people in them. I've been upgrading equipment as the weeks have gone on, and I think that the quality is getting better. I was able to fully connect to the actual Ethernet and get the Ethernet cable, so hopefully the stream quality will be better. There won't be any lagging or anything like that. So I'm really excited about it, and it's been a really fun way to connect with you guys. So again, if you guys want to check those out, just make sure you're subscribed and hit the little bell icon so you can get notifications, so when I go live, you guys will know. But with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. There was one other thing that I wanted to say. Oh yeah, look how buff I am.
Obey the warning signs, and when there are flashing lights or wigwags, don't attempt to cross until they come to a complete stop.